everyone, Pun here. Upon analyze play games, react to stuff. Like those things, or places that gotcha. Well, I got you covered. In today's wonderful day, we're reacting to a Bill and D Hollis video. We're reacting to a long form video, the cold oven cake 1976 recipe. I'm interested about this because usually he does shorts content. I haven't checked his long form content, so I'm actually check out. There was one about the meat book, but I wanted to check out this one first. It's a little shorter to see what's going on. Now, before I begin, if you want to check out the video yourself, the link to said video will be in the description below, or you can click at the title of the video, which will have their name linked to it. It will straight to your channel. With that in mind, let's check it out. Bop!
Gentles and ladymen, welcome back to the kitchen. I ask of you, what is the first instruction that we find when we're baking? If you said preheat your oven, I am in complete agreement with you. I find that as well.
Yeah.
But today we're baking a recipe from 1976 titled A Cold Oven Cake. And the idea of putting an unbaked good into an oven cold intrigues me. Because
that would be, because to be honest, I haven't seen the video yet. Unless it's a lot of ingredients that technically you can eat raw, that's not a good idea because... like, well, okay, then again, people do drink egg yolks raw, which you can't. There are some stuff you can drink raw, but you're not supposed to. So I can kind of see it, but I don't know. That just seems weird. I mean, it's kind of, it just, what would make it rise, though? We'll find out.
of course, we were all taught, or at least I was, that a preheated oven to the correct temperature is of utmost importance for your baked good to turn out correctly. With that being said, there is something mildly exciting about breaking the rules, titillating even. So let's dive in. So the recipe in question specifically comes from October of 1976 from this little ditty right here, the Women's Circle Home Cooking periodical. These went under the subheading of the National Women's Home Cooking Club. And let me tell you, these are my favorite cookbooks ever. Which is something many cookbook collectors would scoff at. They'd consider these trash or ephemera. They were mailed out en masse by subscription every month to all manners of people. There's nothing too much special about this. But I say no. And it's because these showcase what's actually going on in everyday kitchens of ordinary people like you and I. Every recipe in here is sent in by an average member of the public, strangely with their full names and addresses included. Now,
what the flip? Okay, that's a red flag. Why in the flip? What? Oh yeah, that's a great idea. This has to be like an old day subscriptions type of thing. Like I don't understand even the process behind that. Like, okay, never mind.
Professional commercial.
Hey, oh my gosh, never mind.
Or restaurant cookbooks are fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I collect quite a few, but they don't provide an accurate depiction as to what food culture is at the time, you know? They showcase what people are striving to eat, whereas these and church or community cookbooks show us what people are actually eating.
True, that's very true. Like, for example, like, just because, like, in the U.S., we have many different. The U.S. has very different types of foods. I don't say we there. They have very different types of foods, but that doesn't necessarily mean the foods. You know, like there's the deep dish pizza, for example, from a certain place, right? But that's not what they just eat there. That's what they strive to eat, is to eat that delicious deep dish pizza. But they could go there as like, oh no, we eat all this other stuff too. So yeah, it makes sense.
We're here to bake a cake, so let's talk cake. On page
okay, sorry, I don't know why the YouTube glitched there.
Recipe, and just looking at the ingredients, you'll see we have some peculiarities in front of us. We have 2 sticks of margarine.
Wait, eating butter roll? That's such a bad idea.
It's a full cup plus an additional ½ cup of Crisco shortening. Don't forget this was the 70s. Moving on, we have 3 cups of sugar and 3 cups of flour. Now
okay, if you mix it, you should be fine because you're not eating it raw, so I can see the mixture there. I mean, the reason I'm kind of going, okay, maybe is because you can eat cookie dough raw. So if you make it like a cookie dough, I can kind of see this working, but we'll see.
1-to-1 ratio between the sugar and the flour plus the large amount of fat should tell us that this is going to be akin to a pound cake. And that idea is confirmed by the minute amount of baking powder and the relatively large amount of eggs. Of course, we do have a cup of milk and some extracts on top of that for flavor. So, let's get to it.
I'm just so curious. We'll see. I'm curious about the raising the thing. And like, would this is this even healthy? Like, are you risking getting a sickness from this? We'll see.
Start with 2 sticks or 1 cup of margarine, also known as oleo, short for oleomargarine. And I can hear the collective sigh. Margarine gets a lot of bad press, and most of it is for good reason, you know? It has an inferior taste to butter, and butter is arguably better for you. But you know, I really hate this type of elitism in baking. If you're in your own...
I always hate this type of elitism in baking. I don't care if it's better. I don't care if it tastes good. It's elite. That's like saying, I don't care if I don't care if it's an axe murderer. We shouldn't be afraid of him.
Kitchen, baking for your own self. Use whatever it is you want to use. You know, not only can some people not afford butter, and it's wrong to flame them for it, but I believe margarine actually has its place. For example, I will admit to you that I use margarine willingly, not under coercion nor duress, for certain types of crispy cookies, like crispy oatmeal cookies or peanut butter cookies, God forbid, because I like the texture that margarine can provide. Cancel me. I do not.
Okay, let's get the twit logger, everybody. Hashtag cancel B Dylan Hollis. All right, let's get it going. Let's get it going. Also, Dylan, please blink if margarine, if the CEO of margarine's holding you hostage. Thank you.
Use margarine in cakes, though. We can leave that in the 70s. Now we need a half.
I don't know if I've ever had margarine. Now, if I think about it, because I think I've had butter, or if I've ever had margarine, it was in margarine and ounce. Okay, that was stupid, but I don't think I have.
Cup of Crisco shortening, and I've brought out a scale because I can never accurately get displacement measurements of shortening. You get air pockets and it sticks to the cup, and because shortening has so much fat in it, you never want it to be inaccurate or else your cake may fail. I believe it's a lot easier to know that a half cup of Crisco is 95 grams. And
okay.
That goes. Now it's time for 3 cups of sugar, and I'm going to cream this in 1 cup at a time.
Good night. Okay, see, because yeah, you can see it kind of mixing and solidifying. That actually could work.
You know, sugar in a carton is so much easier. So I have a lot.
You know what? I just saw the cold Kai. If they're going to make it and then freeze it, maybe that can work. But we'll see.
A lot of people on TikTok and YouTube who always ask as to why I don't use an electric mixer or a stand mixer to cream together my butter and my sugar.
Okay, let me actually answer this because I've actually heard about this. It's controlling the different types of textures, if I remember correctly, whereas an automatic one, you'll get like, it's texture control, basically. Like if you use your hands or stuff like that. I haven't cooked or baked much, but from what I've heard, that's the reason why you want to use that type of stuff. I don't think that's what Dylan does specifically, but that's what I understand it.
Or the margarine and the sugar in this case, because it's a very important step in baking, right? The creaming of fats and sugars, especially in a pound cake item like this. And really, I have 2 reasons. The first reason is I just really love to bake. So if I'm going to bake, I want to bake. I want to be...
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Down in the process, I want to be well involved in the situation because I find it fun. And the second reason is simply not everyone has these things, right? Not everyone has a stand mixer. So when they see these $600 KitchenAids on television or YouTube, it gives them the wrong idea. It gives them the idea that if they don't have the gadgets, they can't bake the recipe. And that's just patently false. You'd be surprised what you can get done with a bowl, a wooden spoon, and a whisk. With that rant...
You know what? I kind of like that. Okay, you know what? I really like that down of earth type of thing. And that's really cool that he says that. And because you know what? That's kind of true. It's like, well, no, that is true. Yeah. A lot of the stuff that you see in movies and TV is not exactly up to par. They just make you feel something because they want money. Think of Mr. Krabs type of stuff. But yeah, a lot of the stuff you do, like for a very good example, streaming, since I've been doing it for on recording stuff, you really don't need all the high quality stuff. You just need decent quality stuff, because there's a lot of stuff on OBS and stuff and filters like that would make you sound like you have a pristine mic and stuff like that. It just depends on what you get. You can get the most upgraded stuff for better voice quality, yes, but you don't necessarily need it for streaming, and that translates to cooking. You don't need all the most high-tech stuff to cook a meal, and I really like how Dylan points that out. I like that.
Over with. We are done here with our margarine and our sugar. We have a light, fluffy texture which is increased in volume, so we're ready for the eggies, of which we need 5 put in 1 at a time.
1. That's
So we are on our third egg now.
Okay,
and as you can
third.
see, the mixture is becoming really quite smooth, and it's taking
Like
on a
pudding.
lovely yellow golden color, which is a welcome departure from the sickly pale Crisco and margarine. Alrighty, all of the eggs.
That actually looks very good. That looks like that honestly looks like pudding. Like if you put that in the fridge and served to me, I probably would think it was just yellow pudding, to be honest.
Have been incorporated.
That looks very good. It looks like yellow pudding. I'm not gonna lie.
Moving on to the dry ingredients. For this, we need 3 cups of sifted flour. So there's 3 in the sieve right now, and then only a half teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
Like I always say, I don't do this typically for recipes when I'm baking for myself, but in those that ask for it, you best know I do. We also need a cup of milk on hand, so we can alternate adding it to this mixture with the flour. So in goes a touch of flour, mix, and some of the milk. So the alternating of additions of things like milk to the dry ingredients is just so that we don't break the batter. If we added in all the milk at once, it would get far too loose, and it would threaten all of the air that we worked so very hard to incorporate during the earlier steps. More flour. I'll tell you.
Okay, I kind of like how he's actually like teaching it like as you go, because like you said, he wants to teach you, and I did not know that. I've been wanting to bake and cook myself, so this is very helpful, Dylan. Thank you.
What, unlike cakes made with butter, which smell really quite nice at this point, this doesn't smell like anything. Oh, margarine.
By the way, non-Apple Watch, the digital watch. I see you. I see you. Yeah.
That's the last of the flour, the last of the milk. Look at how creamy and smooth our batter is. At this point, we add in the flavor.
That looks like pudding. That actually looks really good. That literally looks like banana pudding, and that looks delicious. This looks very good.
1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of coconut. Now, I know our cold oven cake to be here isn't billed as a pound cake, but I reckon that's what it's trying to be, judging by the ingredients, like I said earlier. And it's going to be interesting because typically a pound cake recipe does not contain any flavoring, does not contain any milk, does not contain any baking powder. All of those we've added. So traditionally, a pound cake recipe is just a pound each of butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. So I'm very interested as to how this is going to turn out.
This actually looks very good.
Our instructions are to turn this into a 10-inch tube pan. Now, I don't have one of those. The nearest I have is a similarly sized bundt pan, which is close enough. I have buttered and floured this severely, which is very important with pound cake-like items. You don't want this to stick. It happened to me once.
Right! Oh wait, is that short? I want to see that.
Do not skimp on the process. So here we go. Look at those ribbons. Now, there is a chance that this is too much batter in this pan, but we're going to go for it anyway. And as per instructions, our cold oven cake is going into a cold oven. We set a timer for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we set the temperature to 350. 350, and 1 hour and 15. And now we wait. We've reached temperature.
Huh. Okay, so you're kind of baking it. So you're setting at 350, but you're baking it. How is it cold?
After 12 minutes, and the cake is just starting to form some bubbles. This is 40 minutes in, and still looking quite pale. Got a bit more bubbles, but...
Okay, so you are cooking it still, essentially.
Also starting to exceed the pan as I feared, but I think all will be okay. With about 10 minutes left on the bake, I wanted to share with you yet another reason why I adore these periodical cookbooks.
Okay, shoot.
And that is because of the small glimpses of current events that you find going on during the time in which they were published. And on page 9 of this edition, you'll find an article titled, Getting Ready for the Metric Kitchen.
What?
Let me just read this to you. The metrics are coming and there's no avoiding it. Our nation is rapidly preparing to join the rest of the world in adapting to a standard system of metric measurements. With it,
Is this like, we're going to the freedom units, it's coming, run!
this century, we may see children's textbooks, business journals, and accountants' ledgers abandon the language of pounds, ounces, feet, and inches. These familiar...
This sounds like, oh my gosh, I haven't even finished this. This sounds like one of those like pieces you see like in the video games, like, we must protect our American values. American years, yeah, we can't do this metric system. What? Wait, metric system? Metric these nuts? What the?
Your names will be replaced by such terms as grams, liters, meters, and centimeters. And the change in language won't stop there. It will follow us all the way into the kitchen.
That sounds like an insane ramblings. I told you, Johnny. They're gonna change the metric system, and then they're gonna take our kitchens. They're gonna take our kitchens, honey. You know, they're gonna tell us you have to measure the centimeters. No more of our good old feet and no yards, no pounds. Everything's gonna be scheduled. You know, we're literally gonna have a pound, and they're gonna think it's cash. Oh no.
How'd that work out for you, America? Now, this article exists because Gerald Ford signed the Metric Conversion Act in December of 1975.
Gotcha.
And everyone was preparing to make the change, and some were quite upset.
Okay, so... Okay, the metric conversion. Okay, so you've done the act, and everybody got paranoid. Like, oh no, they took it. Okay, so it's like, they took our jibs. They took our measurements.
It was quickly repealed by Reagan in 1982, if memory serves correct.
Okay.
I just think stuff like this is hilarious.
It is, yeah. So it was, okay, so it was literally repealed as soon as it came into So all that panic for... Okay, moving on.
Smells good now, too. So getting things out of bunt pans can be notoriously tricky. So my plan of action is to let this cool down for about 5 minutes, attempt to turn it out, and then we'll let it cool down completely before we try it. Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Oh.
That actually looks good.
Hello! That is a massive cake. You're not cold anymore, are you?
Me when I play Nikkei. wait, hang on. Go back a little bit.
Alrighty, our cake has cooled and rested for about 4 hours now, so I reckon it's time. More, are you? Hello! That is a massive cake.
Me when I play Nikkei. Anyway.
You're not cold anymore, are you? Alrighty, our cake has cooled and rested for about 4 hours now, so I reckon it's time to see what's on the inside. Oh, it has quite the crispy crust.
It
Cakes
does.
of this size are normally baked at 300 or 325, so this is going to be interesting.
So it's interesting before he tastes it. It's very interesting that they make this one because basically what they did is it's very. I'll discuss later why this is interesting, but actually no, I'll say it now. The reason this is very interesting is this is how Mama Pun actually taught me how to cook like that. Like whenever we cook stuff, we don't usually wait for the oven to preheat. We just stuck it in as the oven's preheating, and our food turned out fine. Like that's literally what we do. We don't wait for the oven to preheat. We just throw everything in there. But yeah, like mozzarella sticks is a really good example and stuff like that. Which, you know what? I haven't had mozzarella sticks in a while. I might have those tonight. That looks good. That looks good.
Tight that crumb is. Hello.
That looks like honestly, you could pass this off as bread. It's very fluffy. What's the taste? What's the jury out for it? Okay.
There's something quite special here. You ever...
I just noticed there's like a lock on the door. Is that towards your front door, or is that like into another room so we know it comes in? I'm guessing,
Browned, crispy exterior, but the inside is where the magic is. It's the tightest, most densest crumb I've experienced. And it almost lends itself to a fudgy consistency in a very positive way, but it isn't undercooked. It's very pleasant. The taste is also...
I don't think it would be undercooked because in essence what you've done is you let it heat up with the oven, so yeah, I think it would be fine.
So really good, which it shouldn't be, and I'm slightly miffed about. It has margarine and Crisco in it, but I do think that's just the 3 cups of sugar talking. This is a wonderful cake. Now the question is the cold oven the secret? Does it make a difference? And I'm inclined to say yes, that there's no way it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I would think it does, because I think what happens is by putting it in a cold oven and saying, maybe we'll talk about it. What is going on is since you're putting it like in a cold oven standpoint, and then you're putting it in, and it's heating up gradually, and it's cooking just at the right temperature to make it good. Like it's not going to an automatically preheated oven so where everything's cooked up. It's heating with it, so the greens are cooking at the right temperature all the way through.
Starting the baking process at room temperature essentially gives a lot more time for the large bubbles to make their way to the top and pop before the cake starts to begin building its structure through heat. So as the temperature rises, the cake is building itself upon a finer network of air pockets.
Okay.
It's a dense crumb, and the structure builds gradually. Or at least...
So I am right. Okay, that's basically what I kind of said. Okay, I feel smart about that. Yeah, because I was thinking about that. Yeah, that kind of makes sense because, like I said, when you're putting something in the oven, you're cooking it, you're allowing to cook with it. It's not like throwing it in. It's like, in the perfect example, it's like taking a burrito that you make, refrigerating it, and putting it in the microwave. That's going to have a different texture than you make the burrito the first time.
That's my hypothesis.
I guess.
Do I think you'd get a
I think that, yeah, no, it's a good hypothesis. That's what I think too, Dylan. I honestly think that too.
Different cake if you bake this in a preheated oven. No, I'm quite sure you'd get something similar, but this method must just take it the extra mile.
I think so, and I think you would get something slightly different, honestly, because I think there's something the way, like, there's got to be a difference because this was made. This sounds like it was made through trials with tests. Like they tried it the preheated route and then they tried it this route.
I'm not sold that these results are unique to the quote cold oven method either. I posit that you could get similar results if you say left the batter in the bundt pan for a little bit before you baked it in a preheated oven. Perhaps this is just the easiest or the most replicable way of getting these results in a cake.
Or maybe putting the cake pan in the refrigerator for an hour or so just to kind of refrigerate it and then just putting it in. That could work.
I know is that it's fantastic and it uses margarine, which means if you use butter, it's gotta be really good. We should also give credit where credit is due. This recipe comes to us from Kathy, oh dear, Kathy N from Huntington Station, New York.
Ah! I love the Kathy, oh! Yeah! Ah! Well, that face right there, that is the face of, oh, this is when he knew he screwed up.
So it has been a few days, and initially I was quite content with uploading this video where it stood. However, if I were a cat, curiosity would have killed me a long time ago. Because Kathy from Huntington Station and her potentially problematic mispronounceable surname and her cold oven cake have been in my dreams, and they've driven me to...
Why is a random what was she wearing, Dylan? Was that what?
Want to bake?
No, the reason I'm saying that, if you know, like that, a woman in your dreams, wouldn't put it past Dylan. Interesting.
This cake in a preheated oven just to see the difference it makes. Because I am truthfully fascinated with this cold oven idea, and I need to know whether or not that fascination is warranted or misplaced.
Yeah, I'm interested too, because there's gotta be a difference, because in my head, and I keep thinking about this, she had to have tried it preheated first before doing this method, because this is not a thing, because if you think about it, when you're conditioned to cook and bake and stuff like that, you're conditioned to make something off the bat. Like, you're conditioned, like, you are basically taught you need to preheat an oven. You don't think, oh wait, I'll just let it be cold and heat up on its own. You don't treat an oven like a microwave, essentially, or something. Yeah.
So once again, we have our buttered and floured bundt pan, and we have our cake batter. Now, our cake batter is prepared in the exact same manner as we just did previously. Same ingredients, same method. The only difference is we're going to be baking this in a preheated oven. Now, I won't lie, there was a big part of me that wanted to change the oven temperature to something lower so that the exterior would not burn, because, of course, with the cold oven cake, it was not exposed to that high temp for the entire time. It was cold. But then I said, no, you know, that's changing too many variables.
True.
I want to see the difference between a preheated oven or a non-preheated oven. So we're just going to bake this at 350, and if it's done early, it's done early. Here we go again.
That's what she said.
All right, here we are, preheated oven, 350, in this boy goes. Do not worry, I will watch it closely. I expect it to be done around the same amount of time, of course, just slightly earlier. So this is the 40-minute mark on our hot oven cake, and it looks more or less the same. Perhaps it's a bit rounder than the previous.
Yeah.
Alrighty, this boy was done in 1 hour and 5 minutes, and it looks definitively different.
Yeah, it does. Holy.
First inspection, this one has cracked a lot more markedly, and it's domed more as well. Let's see how this works. Hello.
Ooh.
This angle looks more or less the same, but we're gonna let it cool.
It looks more glazed.
Oh, this feels different. It's jiggly.
Yeah. It honestly looks more glazed. What the flip?
Oh.
Huh.
Peculiar. That certainly is a different crumb, isn't it?
Cold, preheated.
I mean, it's not vastly different, but let's see if it tastes it.
It's gotta. There's no way.
Wow, that is different.
Yeah, I figured.
It's just not as good. The crumb is more crumbly. It's not as well put together. And it tastes drier. The positive fudgy-like consistency of the previous cake is gone. The density as well. I can't say with any degree of certainty that one of these cakes tastes better than the other, but I can say with certainty that I feel as if the previous cake tasted better. And it brings to light an important note, which is texture of a baked good plays a more important role in taste perception than you think, and I much prefer the previous cake. To be honest with you, I did not expect this much of a difference. I expected this cake's outer shell to be a bit more burnt and crispy compared to the other. That's it. But this it certainly validates Kathy, doesn't it? Now,
yeah, it does.
I'm an amateur. I only started baking with my TikTok back in 2020. So if any of you folks have any information on cold oven cakes or cold oven methods, please do let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested reading them. All I know is I have a lot of cake to eat, so that's it for me today, and I'll be seeing you quite soon. This was fun.
This was very good. And then there's the recipe right there if you want to check it out, which is right there. But yeah, that's a lot of eggs. Yeah, that looks very good and delicious, not gonna lie. That looks very good. That looks very good. And we saw that earlier today. That looked very good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I like that one. That was really good, Dylan. So yeah, I'm not surprised in a sense, because if you think about it, you're allowing it to heat up naturally versus heating up like this instant heat. It's kind of like, I guess it just depends on the certain products of foods, I guess I think about it, but it's, I don't know. We'll have to see. I guess like when it's cold and heating up, it's heating up individual ingredients, but we'll have to see. This was a very, very, very enlightening video and very, very good. I think one of my, I'm gonna be honest, one of my favorite parts was the I'm gonna be honest, I like the other ones, and this was very informational. I like the little details about the cooking and stuff, and I do like that positive message about, hey, you don't need to have the high-end electrical things. You can literally just pop this in the oven and then you're good to go. Well, you're not popping it up. I mean, you can, if you have a whisk and a wooden spoon, bam, you're good to go. But yeah, this was really, really, really fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I hope you all did too. If you like this video, again, the video of said video will be located in the description below, or you can click the name of the same person in the title of this video and you can check it out. This is pre-recorded, but I do stream live on Twitch, pine_e at twitch.com. Go ahead and check out the description when I actually stream live. I stream, but I will be soon be doing live reactions, and yeah, also if you like, put in the description below what video would you like me to see react to next. I'm doing pre-recorded stuff, but as soon as I see reactions, I will check it out and see what I will do. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I know I did, and I will definitely see you all next time. Peace. Pine.